come into the market guns a-blazing. All right, take it easy, utilize the simulators, utilize risk money, and go slowly over time. If you're a beginner or even if you've been around, you're not quite as consistent as you need to be. Other than that, be careful of the fake relentless trader accounts. A lot of fake accounts out there, people pretending to be me. I will never ask for money or personal information. So low 47, high of 55, and this thing seems to be very volatile here. Oh, my order is just floating. Again. Why? What's going on with Thinkorswim? Am I going to be holding shares? Yeah, it seems like Thinkorswim is having some issues, but it's a nice move up into the halt. This is a bit of a problem though. Let me see how the fills are looking. Man. I'm thinking, do I want to deal with the headache of having to call them and all this stuff, or do I, but to not trade a stock like this is just like a crime. Just, come on. So hopefully after the resumption, we don't have any issues. It's been a while since we saw a lag in the first minute like that. It's been a thing in the past, but the last like maybe like 8-10 months, haven't really experienced it. LMDX higher float, not really getting to break high today. I think I'll ease off there. That seller's walking down. So resumption time. Again, for me, I have room all the way to 230 here. We got halted at 31.25. So at 36.25, assuming it's a 5 minute. Gotta just go in and out one block on these cheaper stocks. They pull back a decent amount off the highs, but I guess that's to be expected. So still waiting. time, 34.55. LMDX is actually giving a nice push there though. So that dip down at 33 held up and it's curled up some more. Like I like this pullback here. Although I gotta make sure I don't like overlap and miss the resumption, but I want to give it a chance to curl up here a little bit. And can we eventually see the new high? The resumption, let's see, 36.25, so there's a couple more seconds. All right. I haven't been doing exceptionally well on the resumptions, but let's see how this goes. We got 10 seconds. As usual, no fear, no hesitation. We're halted up at 167. 5 seconds. Showing 177. Okay, decent. Not Titanic. Good. Now can we see the new high? 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 There it is. I took the trade high, but it worked out well. Great fill. Can we chase down the halt level? I'm gonna sell it a little early. 94 for the halt up. 94. Might get extended. Oh, the other stock sold off. The cheaper one. There's 94, but not quite holding up in the level. There's 98 now. I'd like to see the halt up at this point. Can we see another halt up? Of course I got filled high. Or at the shot though. Tried for 84. Hmm. Halt is at $2. Can we get halted up here? It seems pretty active. So we're gonna need a lot of big buyers. Let's say big buyers, big bids. 202 for the halt up now. If it doesn't get halted up, I'll expect a huge drop at some point. We can't hang out up here forever without getting halted up. There's O2. Can we see it get locked in here? Big bids are coming in. Big bids are coming in. 50,000, 30,000, 20,000, 20,000. Different market makers. There it is. We're locked in. INVO. So, what should we expect here, right? What should we expect here? I'm seeing there's a buyer 123 at 65. It's pretty low. It's showing 205, 212. Depending on how we resume here, I mean, we could see a pullback first. Maybe it goes higher. It's going to come down to that initial price action on the resumption. Because sometimes they'll open and you see that hesitation then leading into red and sellers coming in for profit taking or maybe shorts, whatever. Then other times, the moment it opens up, there's just like aggressive buying and it flies up. The last resumption, well, the last move up, let's say on the resumption, I bought the dip early the first time. So I got to be careful here this time. When you trade paper, you're trading better than you do with real money. Well, it's probably because you're trading freely, and when you go live, you're maybe overthinking it, and the emotions are getting in the way. That also happens to people when they increase share size. A lot of the times it seems like you're doing nothing different, but subconsciously you're selling the trade faster, you're taking longer to sell the loser, and that alone changes the strategy so much that before you know it, where you should have been green or maybe even small red, you're big red or not green at all. So you really have to trade the exact same way when you transition from the simulator to the live account. The same type of entries, the same exits, the same speed. Of course, TPST needs to, you know, as per usual, these last week and a half, has to give a small move from 450 to 533 so far today. TPST, not bad, but I don't know if it's the kind of stock I'll be watching at. But just a heads up in case anybody does not know it's moving. Resumption at 45.01, assuming it's a 5 minute. So on this resumption, a big part of what I'm trying to do is protect the profits, um, and also add to it if I can. So, I have moderate share size, but if we see a really clean setup, I don't mind, you know, sizing up some more. But I do want to be careful here, not, have too many losing trades. So we got to try and be accurate, and we got moderate size. If we do end up losing, we don't lose a ton. Longevity here today. Don't want to wipe myself out and have huge swings. Sometimes that stuff can be stressful mentally. Green 1K flat, green 1K, green 2K flat. I mean, it's a lot of mental strain at times. It's showing me 205, 210, 212, so I'm guessing like 210 maybe. It's still fluctuating, but it doesn't seem like it's going to open lower though. So far, that could change. Of course, make sure to have a plan, always have risk in place for anybody watching at it. Some people may be on the sidelines because they might think it's too high, which is a fair thought, to be honest. But I'll be watching here. This is the second halt up. I trade this usually, so watching here to see. We got about less than 30 seconds. Halted at 202. What will it be? Here we go. It doesn't want to dip. How far is it gonna go? Can we see the next halt? No, it's struggling. Should have ripped through 12. Then down 190, not good. So halting down. From looking decent like that, it's just immediately crashing down. Resuming at 7 area, pushing up to 10 to 11, dropping back to about 5, 4, 3, not really dropping below $2. So that was a good sign for me to get in. But going up, not going over 12, 13 when we got back to that level. We should have ripped through 13 right there. It looks like some of the Discord members got caught there. But we'll see how the dip does. It could be good. But I also want to be careful of the backside. So maybe I size down a little more just to be safe. TPST, pulling back a bit. LMDX, cheaper stock. By the way, I never put out a watch list. I'll put it out right now. That's what happens when you're late. Not good. AULT isn't really looking good anymore. Let's see. Is it AULT? Just so we can have a reference for this day if we're ever coming back to backtest stocks. At least these are the few that were moving around this time. The lag might have thrown a lot of people off at Thinkorswim, so that's also a thing to keep in mind in the beginning. It worked out in my favor. I would have gotten back in. I think I would have gotten back in because that was the plan. Whether I would have missed the trade or not, I don't know. But the plan was for me to get back in that area. But the shares weren't filling, so I thought it best not to try and buy again or just wait. I thought the first entry where it was lagging was a fluke, so I'm gonna just get back in. But it was also lagging getting out. I think in around like 58 or something, and it filled me the bulk of the position in the halt, or as we were halting, let's say. So 50 and 42 seconds. 50 and 42 seconds. Of course, here in the East Coast, it's 9 a.m. It's 9:48. So it's 9:50 and 42 seconds. Some of you guys are in different time zones. So I tend not to say, that first number there. But for everybody, 52, well, let's say 50 and 42 seconds. Some of you guys are in Europe. Some of you guys, Australia maybe, Asia, West Coast here in the States, where it's actually 6:49 a.m., which is crazy. There's a guy in Discord who I think was trading from I think it was Taiwan, and it was like midnight or something, or like 3 a.m. It's crazy stuff. But wherever you are, you can do it if your schedule is making sense. So for those of you tuning in on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, guys, hit that thumbs up. If you're on Facebook, be sure to follow the channel, follow the page. Something to quickly mention, guys, be careful out there once again, right? As we have more people tuning in, there's a lot of fake accounts, right? There's a lot of fake relentless trader accounts, and there's people out there in general who are stealing videos and stealing my videos and trying to use it as their own. And it's fraudulent, so just be careful of these things. I don't use Telegram or WhatsApp. I never will do mirror trading, copy trading. I do not invest money for my subscribers. So be safe, be careful. I know I say it a ton. The people here every day probably will think, why does this guy keep saying it? But just for the people who, might be passing through or, coming back after a long time, things like that. We're cutting the chatter. Here we go. 190. What will it be? 76. Yeah, I should have took that trade. Entry 77. We'll give another chance. If it holds up 77, it could get halted up. Potentially 96 if that halt up. Do we mean business? Selling. Fair amount of selling there. Good attempt and effort though. Tight stops here for me. Does it want to get back to 85.90? Do we? It's trying. We might see 95 here, potentially. Can we see another quick entry though? Or are we gonna hold super high? 85. Actually, there's a seller there. 40,000 or so. Not a ton. I'll ease off here. I'll wait. The entry was down at like 76, 75, so I can't really be trying to force too many trades here. So close to the halt up, which is at 98 now. It needs to push through. It needs to go. We don't want to be lingering here too long. 96, 97, 98. Okay, there it is. Can we get locked in? You see that trade, that the entry I took right there, I'm not really supposed to sell it. So, I'm just like taking quick profits. But I could technically from that entry still be holding into this halt up. But I was taking the 8 cents or whatever it was to then buy back again if we could have had another entry somewhere. But it looks like it's just going to be one straight, one move straight up. We'll see how it does on the resumption. Yeah, it's a good red to green. Right here, we'd hope it can retake the highs. Maybe let's say we resume at 204, 203, and we can go up to 212 again, and this time maybe push through 220. That would be ideal. But, we'll see what it does. There's no telling, there's no guarantee. There's always risk, and there's always reward on the other side. Once again, guys, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. Tim in there with 3K shares. Spartan sold at 97. Ken is in as well with 1.5K. It's so rare for me to hold into a halt. It happens, but not really a lot. But again, if you're holding for 175, like what, it doesn't matter what it does, you're gonna still more than likely be good. What are the odds this opens up at like 120? Near impossible. Less than 1% chance. What's likely to happen is it opens up somewhere around here. Even if it's a little weak, you're holding the low 177, whatever. You can still get out with good gains. But buying into the halt level, which I don't know if anybody is doing, is a little bit more risky, of course, in case we do open up lower. So 58.37. It's showing 207, which could be good. Let me make sure to prep orders and be ready. Time 56:34. So 58:37. We got about 2 minutes. Hit that thumbs up, guys. Hit that thumbs up as you're tuning in on YouTube. Let's see, how many people do we have? We did start the live stream a little late. We have over 400 people, guys. Let's get up here to 200 likes. 200 likes. Hit that thumbs up. We do appreciate it. Big time. It helps out the channel tremendously, and it's always good to know that the people are enjoying the live stream. Shout out to the guys like KT who are here every day. Ricardo, Brad, JP, Jared, Mobile's in the building. We got to show the live stream some love from time to time. I can't only show the students love, right? I've been showing the students all the love. So resumption coming up. 58:37. I'm thinking we could get the high if they move here. So I'm wondering if I want to beef it up a little bit to capture a sweet trade in there. Short sellers could be getting caught off guard here, potentially. Not always the case, but potentially. We had about 20 seconds. As usual, no fear, no hesitation. $198, 10 seconds to go. What will it be? It's showing 206, 205. Okay. A little high right there, but all right. Great fill. 15. Boy, that was close. Got a good fill there. All right, let's size down a bit. 20. 22 for the halt up. 22. There's 22. Will it get locked in? We're seeing big bids. Might get locked in here. Oh. That tells me some people have huge size. Somebody sold like 40,000 shares like that. But buyers came back in. Yeah, there's a few people trading this stock that are like in 50, 70,000 shares. Versus somebody like me, like 2,000, 3,000, which is, might be a lot to some people, but to others, yeah. So the traders are aggressive on the dips. We're seeing good price action. I will watch this resumption as well, but I think I'll watch it with a little bit reduced size. We are getting to be on the extended side here, but this is the second halt up again on this new red to green. So give it a chance here. If it gets halted up again after this, I'll ease off a bit. Again, we still want to protect the gains we have and not overdo it. Because whilst you can always make more money, you can definitely lose money too. And you got to ask yourself what you're most comfortable with. Everyone is different. 25 shares into the halt. S. Lee. Justin, a swing trader, getting involved with a day trade here and getting a nice trade. Way to go, man. EC holding 5K into the halt. Aggressive position there. The question for this type of stocks is always the same, how far are we gonna go? No one really knows. This can potentially go to 250, $3, or maybe this is the high for today or for this, let's say, time frame. We don't really know. So, again, guys, be sure to manage risk. For those people who might be on the sidelines, don't give into any FOMO and buy the top. Don't do anything crazy like that. Let's just see what this thing does. Let's make sure to always have a plan. That way we can protect ourselves as best as possible. So at 0427, we should see resumption. I'm seeing potentially 24 or 33 for the resumption. This is the thing with the market too, is that you never know. I'm looking at this stock here earlier around 925, and it's like it looks okay, but the way how everything else is looking so like dry, it's like it's not encouraging. Like, hey, yeah, go aggressive right away. It's just the thing with the market, you just never know. It can be the slowest looking day, and then you get something good. It can be a hot day, and all the stocks sell off. Again, it's why we always have to have a plan and be disciplined towards sticking to it. So again, 0427. We got less than a minute. I'm seeing 225, 233. I'm seeing 250, but probably 233. 250 seems to be holding strong, so maybe it resumes it pretty high. All right. Okay. Less than 30 seconds. 20 seconds to go. 10 seconds. We're at 222. 5, 4, here we go. Not an immediate rip. Scratch trade. Decent for that bid there. I'm gonna give it a chance. It's teleporting down, huge spreads. Gotta be careful in this area. 41. It's jumpy. It's pretty jumpy. 47 for the halt up. 28, 22, down. Tried for 36, 37 there, thinking it would bounce right back to 40, 45, but not good. In at 37, out at 30. Is this the backside? Or is this another pullback that could potentially curl back up? I mean, the volume does look decent. The last rejection we had was 13 area. We had the first move up right here. This would be the second move up. So can we get another dip? And then a third move up? Is that possible? Only time will tell. I'm going to size down some more. And I'm going to keep watching. I'm going to come down in size. How are you guys doing in Discord? Let's see. Seems like there's some mixed reactions there after we had the drop. EC sold it open. Brad all out. Checking on the YouTube stream. Axlord. It will open up lower. The halt time. Yeah, so on the DAS here, I'll show the screen, right? On this screen, so I'm always looking up at this screen right here. Right here it shows me if I come down right here, where it says LDLU, right? And we can come down a little lower right here. Trading pause at 10:05:44. So in exactly 5 minutes from that time, we'll see resumption. So at 10:10:44, that's how I'll see. Um, that's how I'll be able to tell, the resumption. We do stream the halt levels and halted stocks in general to the MMU members in Discord. If you guys want to check it out, you can. But yeah, that level 2 platform there is called DAS Trader Pro. The only bad thing about it, it's 150 bucks a month. But to see the level 2 price action, to see the halt level there for myself, I personally do not like to rely on anybody else or anything if I can help it. So I pay for it. I think it's worth it, but it is expensive though. 150 bucks a month, compared to like 15 bucks or 20 bucks. It's kind of pricey, especially if you're now like starting out and you're like, having other responsibilities that's tying up cash. Your opinion on E-Trades level 2? Yeah, I used to use E-Trades level 2. It's not bad. It is a little on the slower side, and they do not show halt levels. But it's not bad. I used it for like 2 years and it was profitable. The good thing about that is free. If you have like a balance of 1K in your E-Trade Pro account, you can have access to everything on their platform, including Bloomberg, which is a good service for market-wide news. But cutting the chatter, we have a couple seconds here, about 25 seconds or so to resumption. We're halted down at 17. What will it be? 14 seconds. 10, 5, here we go. I wanted to pull back and hold. Oh, see, that's too quick. That was too quick. Alright, maybe I leave it alone. Small bounce there, not bad. How's it going to continue to do? Tempting. Can we get one more quick pullback? Nope. It's going to jump to 20. See, I could have made money there, but it's a matter of not making up my mind quick enough. I want to take on the risk. You know, I did reduce size to kind of like jump in if I needed to, but still a little too cautious, which is not really great in that area there. But the first entry in the sequence is pretty important. When we break below 2, there was no in between. It just from red, from selling to just back at 04, just didn't really get a chance to buy. But a decent bounce. So again, you know, can we see a third pullback and then another move up? Are we going to be able to get back to high of day again here? Or is this just a bit of a relief bounce to then sell off? If the volume is high going up on this next resumption, you could probably see a retest. I'm gonna watch. If I see what I like this time, I'm just gonna go for it. No fear, no hesitation. Robin, the last high and low, it's script. Message me in Discord and I'll send it to you. I ought to use the other one where it's like away from the chart. This does at times take up too much of the charts, which was the complaint from the start. Or let's say feedback that I got from other people. I got so used to it. One of the good things about this platform is that, you know, for those of you who are good with like software engineering and coding, you can write some scripts, you know, using logic. You know, it's pretty decent stuff. You know, Thinkorswim is not a bad platform, man. When this platform is working, you know, to its like capacity, I'd say it's the top broker. But there are days where it's like inconsistent, and then that's where you kind of run into the problem. So 16 and 49 seconds for resumption. Depending on how this halt goes, I might ease off completely and size down to like a very small share size. And you know, at that point, just look to lock it in. About a minute and 50 seconds to go. WBY is being mentioned. A bit of a lighter volume one, but pushed up a little bit. They're at 420s. If this gets overhyped again, at that point, for me, it'll be like a top tier stock. Despite, of course, not going to like $10 or something, it still will be because to me, this is like the ultimate strength here. Pulling back not once, not twice, but holding up those levels and retesting the highs. It's very good stuff. No, Thinkorswim is going to stay the same. There's been a lot of talks about how they're trying not to change a lot with the platform so that the transition is seamless. Now, being that Schwab is a different company, in the future they could allocate resources elsewhere. They could change things. That's possible. But for this short term, seems like we're good. But cutting the chatter, 10 seconds, we're at 222. Okay. See, it's doing the same thing again where it's showing but not ripping, right? So we gotta be careful. It might get halted up again. Yeah, I think I'm gonna ease off. It's a little tricky. Halt up is at 49. We're gonna see the halt up. Difficult price action there though, I think. Kind of just better to be in just holding. Halted up. Very good, very good. Very good, but very tricky. Not easy to trade up there. For me, it's showing certain areas, but then I'm in, and then it goes up 4 cents, and then it teleports back down. I don't like that type of stuff. It gets messy. Ken in at 27 out of 37. Lovely trade. Lovely trade indeed. Guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel as well. We got 422 people currently tuning in and watching on from all around the world. Hit that thumbs up. Let's get up here to 200 likes. We really appreciate it. We got Lee, Jake, Gus. How you guys doing? Murphy, right? Jake Murphy, what's up? What's up? Track Racer 22 is in the building. Diet soda. We got to keep it healthy over here, right? We got to stay hydrated. Although I prefer water, we got to stay hydrated. JJ is in the building. Jeremiah Sanchez, what's going on? How you doing today? Are you seeing some good trades, right? I hope so. Don Juan is in the building, another longtime supporter. Justin Jones. the amount of volume it has right now, I mean, it's decent. We're getting halted rather quickly, so time and volume kind of correlates, right? And if the candlesticks are closing before they should, then the volume isn't going to really be as much as it should be as well. So keep that in mind. But it does look pretty decent. But also we can say it's extended, right? The main thing right now is to have a plan, whether you're planning on trading it or, if you're looking for a high entry, a low entry. The key is to have a plan and to have a risk in place. That way there are no surprises per se. We got Derek in the building. Earth Explorer, man. How you doing? How you doing? Where's KB? KB's MIA. Or KB maybe it's dialed in trading. JP, Lethal, Alimo, Ramoldar. A long, long list. Till time. So I got distracted. What's that? 2242. Yeah, 2242. For those of you in MMU, how are you guys doing today? Let's see if we have anybody that posted. Spartan looks like he had a couple of good trades so far. Most people wouldn't post until the like end of the session, 10:30, 11:30, so forth. Lucas saying he's red and is hesitating on everything. Does happen. So, the key is to just size down a bit and just focus on getting in, right? Getting in where you usually would be getting in, because we understand that fear, you know, or anxiety, whatever the emotion is, it alters the strategy, even if it's just a little bit. So focus on getting those entries and over time build that confidence back. And before you know it, you'll be right back on top. So 10 seconds, here we go, 10 seconds, INVO. Halted up at 249. I don't usually look at this, but let's see what it does. 75, 79, another quick halt up. Yeah, I don't usually watch all the way here, but still going. False halt. We got 58. Wow, that's a horrible entry. Great attempt though. I tried to buy 61. It's flying fast is the problem. I'm gonna try it again, but it might fail here potentially. Well, okay, it's gonna fail. 57. See, my share size though is so small that even if I'm caught there, it's not bad. So 57 false halt. It is so volatile. 87 for halt up. Unbelievable. This thing is crazy. The fluctuation though, man. Is it worth it? Halt up is at 87, halt down is at 57. The aggressive traders are still trading this thing aggressively. Best believe. Since when I don't consider myself an aggressive trader, but we got 61, halt down at 57. Very close to the halt down here. But seems like people are getting in. And there's 71. Is it going to continue? 75 and 80. 75. Can we see 80? 78. We want to see 80 out of this, even though it's a couple more cents. Can we see 80? 69, 68, 65, back down a bit. It's a real consolidation at this point. The low is at 57. The only bad thing is the halt down is right there too, which makes buying this low tricky because we could halt down. So there's a potential halt down. Will it get locked in? False halt. Nobody's buying. It might get locked in here. Oh, okay. It only had, what was that, 30,000 or less, which is probably the lowest amount of shares we saw in a halt up or down today. I don't know. It could bounce, man. It could. It doesn't seem like the selling was like tremendous, but a little hard to tell. KB is in the building. The Bulls are out today. Let's go, man. Let's go. This would be the third pullback, which I do not like. Um, we can mark them out. So we had the first pullback here, second pullback, and now potentially the third pullback is going to happen. So I will not be touching it here. I'll stick to my rules. Even trying to buy up here was a little aggressive, but there was opportunity. So I'm gonna just ease off. This will be one of those days where I can walk away at the highs, which is rare for me. It always seems like I have to give back off the top before I stop. So, this could be the start of a good trend here. We were very accurate today as well, which is great. That always helps out. 30, 51. For those of you who are newer to the channel, right, if you are looking to get started with trading formally, be sure to check out the links down below, right? For the Merciless Markets University link, which is the day trading course that I offer here. From A to Z, from zero to advance. We don't guarantee any success because you can't guarantee anything in life. That's just how it is, unfortunately. But what we do say is that, and what we do teach is how to approach the market in a low risk way, right? And we go over all of our strategies here for this quick style of trading where we're in and out within seconds. It's a different type of style. Not everyone really trades like this. And primarily, we go over a lot of like breakout trading and like stocks going up. There are some dip entries, of course. So you guys can check it out if you're interested in that type of stuff, and that style of trading, this type of style, which is what most people are here for, anyways. But not everybody trades like this. Some of you guys are listening to me as you're trading options, and you can care less about this type of small cap stuff. Just a heads up. "30 seconds to resumption, assuming if it's a 5-minute halt." Again, I'm hands off. We're at 257. Here we go. A couple seconds. It's going to resume higher. Can we get halted up at 85? 84? Wow. Interesting. If it gets locked in here, this could be good. In which case, shorts can get caught off guard, thinking that was going to just sell off. It looks like it will get locked in. There's a lot of big buyers. If it gets locked in, I'll be interested. Oh yeah, I'm interested, all right. Short sellers are going to get caught off guard right there, so this is good. Ooh, they can be in trouble here. I mean, who would have thought, right? I mean, I'm thinking at least like a halt down like this or something, and then maybe even if it bounces a little bit, yeah. But this, this is good. For me, it's like a reset, right? Because it's like it's going against the trend. So I'm not gonna be super aggressive, like overly aggressive, but I'm looking forward to seeing what this wants to do here. This stock does get a little jumpy, so I want to keep that in mind. But you know, this could be good. It's honestly an area where I probably should have put out an order quickly. It like the moment I saw like 79, I should have been buying it. All right. So can we see $3? I mean, I think it's a possibility to get over three here. But if we resume higher, being that the price is getting a little bit more expensive, I'd hope the halt levels are also a little bit further apart. That way we have more room to, maneuver, more range to trade. Showing 98. TPST. I'm guessing some people probably just did extremely well in this stock, and then others probably had a hard time. I mean, the way how some of these red candles are, man. Good move back over to view up there. Brad, take it easy. Stay safe. Stay green. I will watch this resumption here. This could be interesting. The third pullback is usually a little weaker, more selling, so this is absolutely great to see a reversal like that from a halt down, halting up higher, pushing up again. If I'm short, you know, in this range, this is the last thing I want to see. If they're keeping tight stops, they're probably going to cover somewhere around three, maybe over the level of three. Some people their stops might be till at four, but those are, the people with either incredible risk or maybe not so great risk management. $36.24. The cheapest way to get level two, well, what's that? No, halt levels. The cheapest way to get halt levels will probably be to join MMU, if I'll be honest with you. We stream it there every day for all the top stocks. And if you look at the math for MMU monthly, the yearly subscription is 797, right? Monthly is like $65 a month versus this 150. And then you get everything else too. If you want that. Or if you only want the halt levels, then you can have that too. Um, but I don't know how much the level one is. Hold on, this resumption is coming up. 10 seconds. 284, what will it be? Here we go. Okay, okay, all right. Time to ease off. That could have been bad. And this is the thing, man. It's looking so good. Kind of get a weaker drop there. And the halt opposite 305, which wasn't really great. It's too tight. False halt down. It's becoming too difficult. Price action here. Yeah. Back to not touching it. We're grateful to be out quick and not take on a bigger loss there. Yeah, so I'll spectate. Yeah, I was saying I'm not sure how much the level one is at DAS, but you can probably look into the website. If anything, you can maybe reach out to their customer service, which isn't bad via the tech support if you want to go that option and see if it's cheaper. Also, make sure to check the agreement for level one to see if it includes the levels. There's 301 for halt up potentially, false halt. It's trying again. Yeah, I mean, besides being in very low and just holding a position, I mean, this stuff is very difficult to capture, man. I can see myself like just, you know, the halt up is at 04. Will we see enough bids at the level to lock it in? There's 23,000 share buyers started off, adding to their positions, right? 40,000. Somebody's gonna sell. That's gonna put us down to 77. Potential halt down. That's why it's hard to trade. It's like there's no in between there. Like all the prices in the middle just goes away. And now the selling here is tremendous. It's halting down. For me, it's like again, the logic for me is like, hey, we're halting down at first. It looks weak, but it halted up high, resumed higher, halted up. I'm thinking, yeah, this thing maybe wants to go to 350. But then I'm buying in this area, and then it's like dropping down, and it's just not easy. Wait, this is the old text. Okay. As the street cleaner is coming by. People really ought to stop littering. It's one of the bad things about living in like a not good neighborhood. Like where I live is awful. I'm not. I'm just gonna be very honest. This is like the you know, what do they call it? The streets, the hoods, right? People just don't get it. They just, I think it's more so ignorance, right? In the sense of lack of understanding. People just don't really understand the significance of what they're doing. And I myself used to litter when I was younger, didn't know any better, just saw people doing it and was just ended up doing it myself. Until there was a field trip to the Poconos. And, there's like a group meeting at first, and one of the things they asked us is like, hey, do you guys see any trash anywhere here? And people were like, actually, now that we're thinking about it, there's no trash anywhere here. How is that possible? Well, it's very simple. If you don't throw trash, there's not going to be any trash, you know? That day, I was like, holy smokes. I never littered again. I was probably like, maybe like 12 or something. A private MMU island. That would be great. But you go out there and it's like the truck comes, it sweeps the road, and then like I guarantee, like I can take a picture, right? Right now it's clean. You give it 3 hours, somebody's gonna walk and they're gonna throw something again. And then when I forget to move my car, they charge me $60. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. No, no, we're paying for that. We're paying for this, all right. You kind of just have to, you just have to be somewhere good. I guess that's the only thing that's left. Sometimes it's hard to change a mindset. I spoke to a guy that was very sensible person, and I was explaining to him why he shouldn't litter. And it's like so many people are doing it that like if I stop, it's not gonna matter anyway. So I'm just gonna keep doing it. And this is someone who I would say is very smart, very intelligent. That particular thing was not intelligent of them to say, but it's like, yeah, how do you fight this fight? There's probably people that was there on that field trip. The next day they probably still were littering. Anyhow, not to bring this conversation somewhere else where it shouldn't be. A fancy condo in Manhattan, man. I I wanted to live in Manhattan at one point, but I don't know if I ever would. Maybe I don't know, maybe I will at some point. It depends, but the lifestyle there, it's very fast paced. There's a ton of stuff to do, but you definitely got to be, you know, you have to want that. As we have resumption here, but I think it's an awful place to raise a family, if you ask me. You might have some like dip buyers here, taking some trades here and there. Maybe there's a few people holding still from like 150, 160, 170. Maybe holding for like the entirety of the day. I am checking out of this stock. So the ranting probably will continue. Took one visit and changed my mind, dreaming of living in Manhattan. Oh man. New York is a great city. It's probably one of the best cities, but it has its problems for sure. It's also expensive, but that's kind of the price you pay of living in a. It is. I would say it is one of the best cities. It's famous, right? It's famous for a reason. It's also one of the wealthiest cities, and being that Wall Street is also there, the financial capital of the world. That's what they say. New York City. It's a beautiful city, but if you want to live there and live very comfortably, you for sure have to be making like half a million plus a year, and that's probably net to like really like to really say you're living in New York City and being very, very comfortable. Some people they'll have like roommates, other things like that. If you're in a building, which more than likely you're going to be in a building, your building needs to have great amenities, maybe a nice view. EC, yeah, Puerto Rico, man. Um, it's something that I've considered before, and you don't need to be there the entire time. I think it's 6 months and one day. You need to actually physically be there, and there's probably a loophole around that, anyways. Because most of these people who are there to get this benefit, they're these big time entrepreneurs that are like always somewhere. Anyhows, it's definitely something to consider. You know, as good as it is to pay taxes and pay our fair share, the other side of it is like they take a lot. You know, you make 100 grand, they take 30%. It's 30,000 gone. You're down to 70,000. And what's even worse about it is that okay, we can vote, but it seems like the systems that are in place are very fixed and rigid. And so whilst you can vote for different policies, certain things like never change, and you don't really have control of where your 30 grand is going. It's like the government can do whatever they want with it essentially. And we don't really always know and understand how the tax dollars are being spent and utilized. Sometimes we're not even in favor of what they do with it. I mean, I can tell you right now, I can go outside and show you guys 100 potholes, right? I mean, no, as we're still in this consolidation, potentially halting up here at 91. Like the Manhattan Bridge is awful. Like you guys ever drive over the Manhattan Bridge, man? They redid the center, which is good. Jeez. And then they take so long on some of these roads. I mean, I've seen roads get done in like 2 days, 3 days. Highways where they just get it done. And then some other areas, it's like it's taking them weeks to do the road. Like, is it the weather? Or is it something else? I'm saying there's probably a loophole. What's interesting too is that a lot of the people who are making the laws are wealthy people, and they also want some sort of edge, and so they'll create the law, and have something there to help themselves. And I'm perfectly comfortable saying that because that's just what it is. Ultimately people are people, man. You can expect people to be people at any given point in time, whether it's now, in the past, in the future. You know, not everybody's like on that mindset of just being fair, you know. You look at the people here in this financial community here, this finance space of YouTube, and the people who are scamming. Like there's just gonna be people who they don't care about like putting in honest work. They'll put all that time into something that's not so great, you know. Not saying that that's what all of government is doing or politicians are doing, the lawmakers, but definitely there's some things that goes down for sure, 100%. Things that we even know of, but nobody seems to do anything about either. Like I think this lady, I think her name was Nancy Pelosi, something like that. She's definitely somebody who, takes advantage of the position.